Hey, you're here. I'm glad you came.
I'm glad too. He smiled softly, the kind of smile that hides a little pain. It feels good to sit with you like this.
Come closer. Tell me what's on your heart.
Henry took a moment before answering, like he always did, gathering courage one small piece at a time. You know, Daisy, today I felt lost again.
Lost? Sit with that feeling for a moment. You're safe here.
The room stayed silent, but not the uncomfortable kind. It was the comfortable, healing kind, where someone finally feels understood without saying too much. Thank you for being patient.
Always. Henry took a deeper breath now, feeling a little braver.
It's just that I woke up today and for a moment I didn't know what I'm doing with my life. I looked around my room and everything felt blurry, like I wasn't connected to anything. I couldn't understand what direction I should take. I kept asking myself, what am I supposed to be doing? Why do I feel stuck? And I didn't have any answers. He rubbed his hands together, slowly, thoughtfully. It almost felt like I was walking through fog, and the more I tried to force clarity, the more confused I became. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel grounded. I felt lost, Daisy. Really lost.
Daisy touched his arm.
Henry, the feeling you just described, thousands of people feel that way silently. You're not strange. You're not broken. You're human. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. And sometimes growth feels like confusion before it feels like progress.
Henry looked at her, eyes apologetically soft.
But I don't know what direction to take.
You don't have to know right now. She said it slowly, like each word was a warm hand on his back. Sometimes life gives you questions before it gives you answers. The space in between, that's the part we call lost. But it's also where we learn who we are.
Henry breathed out. Something in him softened.
Daisy leaned back slightly and began sharing gentle little stories, tiny pieces of life, soft and quiet, but meaningful. There was a girl I once knew who sat at a bus stop every evening. She had finished college, but didn't know what job to take. So she sat there, watching buses come and go. One day, I asked her if she was waiting for something. She said, "No, I'm just waiting to feel like I belong somewhere." She didn't know her path yet, but she still showed up every day. And you know what? Eventually, she found something she loved, not by rushing, by allowing herself to breathe. There was also a boy who planted a tiny seed in a pot. Every morning he checked it. For weeks, nothing happened. He thought he'd done something wrong. But the truth was, the seed was growing roots, hidden below the soil. She looked at Henry warmly. Sometimes we are that seed. We think nothing is happening, but our roots are forming quietly. Another person I met used to take really slow walks every morning. She said she walked slowly because she didn't know where she wanted to go in life, so at least her feet should move gently. And with time, she found a direction, not because she ran toward it, but because she allowed herself to drift a little until something clicked. Once, I knew a boy who always drew circles in his notebook. Not shapes, not doodles, just circles. When I asked him why, he said, "Because I don't know where my life is going, so I draw something that comes back to itself." It was his way of reminding himself that even if he goes in loops, he will eventually find the center. And then there was a woman who forgot what she wanted to be in life. She kept saying, "I used to know, but I can't remember anymore." And one day she told me something so simple, but so wise. She said, Maybe my dream changed, but I didn't forgive myself for shifting. Henry closed his eyes for a moment, listening deeply.
Daisy saw Henry's eyes soften, so she leaned a little closer and spoke gently. You asked me earlier about the word stuck. Let me tell you what it really means. Stuck means you're not moving the way you wish you could. It doesn't mean you're not moving at all. Sometimes your heart is learning quietly while your outside looks still. Comfort means something that makes you feel warm inside, like a deep breath, like a kind word, like someone saying, "It's okay." Comfort is not a solution. It's soft space to rest. Effort means the energy you use to try. Even tiny steps count. Thinking about change is effort. Waking up and continuing the day even when you're confused, that is effort too. A reminder is a gentle nudge, a soft whisper that helps you remember something important, like you're not behind, or it's okay to slow down.
Henry nodded thoughtfully.
Those explanations, they feel like warm tea for the soul.
Good. I want your heart to feel warm tonight. Henry looked up, his voice calmer now.
You know what I realized while listening to you? Feeling lost is not the enemy. It's actually a message.
Yes. What message do you think it carries?
He thought for a second. Maybe it's saying, slow down. Something is shifting. Something new is forming. Wait a little more.
Daisy smiled proudly. Exactly. Sometimes the direction you're meant to go is still being built, and you can't walk a path that isn't finished. Henry exhaled slowly.
And maybe I don't need to have all the answers right now.
You don't. Life is not a test you need to pass. It's an experience you're allowed to feel.
Henry's eyes softened, almost misty. You make it sound so gentle.
Because life is gentler than we think. We're the ones who treat ourselves harshly.
Henry nodded again. You know what I realized while listening to you? Feeling lost is usually because I'm comparing myself to everyone else.
Daisy touched his hand lightly. Comparison is like a fog. You think it helps you see where you stand, but it actually blocks your view. Your journey isn't supposed to look like anyone else's.
You're right. I always forget that.
That's why I'm here. To remind you. And you, listening right now, I want you to know something. Feeling lost doesn't mean your life is wrong. It means your life is changing. It means your heart is searching. It means you're in a place where new directions can find you. You don't need to force clarity. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare your journey to anyone else's.
You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to not know. You're allowed to take life one small step at a time.
You are not lost forever. You're just in between chapters. And chapters take time to unfold.
Sometimes the most important moments of your life happen in silence, in confusion, in softness, in waiting.
And please remember this. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where your life needs you to be right now in this moment. Henry looked toward the imagined listener and smiled warmly.
You're not alone. We're here with you, breathing beside you, walking with you, sitting with you, in this moment. And moments like these bring clarity later, even if you don't feel it now.
Daisy placed her hands over her heart. You matter. Your presence matters. Your feelings matter. And your confusion is not a flaw. It is a sign that something meaningful is awakening within you. Soft, reassuring closing. The room grew even quieter now. Peaceful, safe, like a deep exhale. Daisy whispered, "You will find yourself again. not by searching desperately, but by living gently.
Henry breathed slowly. And when you do, everything that feels heavy now will make sense. You'll look back and say, "Oh, that's why I needed that slow, confusing season."
Daisy smiled. Tonight, let this be enough. You are alive, you are learning, and you're doing the best you can. Henry nodded softly.
We're proud of you.
Rest your heart. The path will show itself soon. The light faded softer. The warmth stayed. Good night, dear friend.